Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jacob Mahlerbe.
Hello, everybody. Most of you guys know me as the Facebook guy, but today we're going to talk a little bit less Facebook and more about the journey. Michael asked me to come up here and tell my story about how it all happened and how we got to this point. So I also own a woodworking machinery company. And I worked that my whole life. My dad started it in 1975, and I grew up with an entrepreneurial dad that got me into the thinking of business, of how to do stuff, how to make money. Everything was focused on money in my life. Until one day, I got burned out. 20 years into the woodworking business, I got burned out and was like, let's go away for a while. Let's go to the beach. Let's go refocus, and let's go find out if there's something else that we have a passion for. So we went down to Pensacola Beach, me, my wife, and our 2 kids, and we enjoyed it. We enjoyed life for a little bit. We took a break. 6 months later, BP decided to take a dump on my beach with oil. And all of a sudden, I got this passion. I was set up. I had my business. I had money coming in. My neighbors didn't have that. The people that were renting out houses, the restaurants, the people that rely on that 100 days of summer didn't have all that. And after the first 90 days, oil was just spilling and spilling and spilling. And I was like, but why is nobody doing anything? And I'm in the middle of it. And I'm like, I have everything covered. I have my paycheck, I have my house, I have everything. This is the time, there's a reason I'm here. This is the time for me to help somebody else. Forget about the money. Everything is not about money. It's about helping people in need. So I started up a very elementary blog called BP-Claim that spoke to the people of what it was that I felt they needed to do at this moment. 6 months into that, I had 700,000 people following this blog, where somebody that knows nothing about the law, nothing about really anything, but I learned as I went along, and my passion drove the project. When I had 700,000 people coming into my blog and asking me what should they do, the lawyers, as far away as New York and Minnesota, came to me and was like, holy, you have a gold mine here. We can help you. We can help your clients. And I'm like, I'm on a beach in Florida and you're in Minnesota and you think you can help my people? I'm like, I don't think so. So who is right there in Pensacola is Levin Papantonio. You might already know those guys. So I researched the firm and I go like, that's the people that can help my people because they're right here. They know what's going on. So I write Mike Papantonio, and unfortunately that went to spam. So he missed out on that one. So I researched a little bit more and found Brent Kuhn out in Houston, Texas. He had done the Texas City explosion and had already been at trials with BP. So I called him up and said, hey, this is what's going on. I have a lot of people here that need help. And he was like, yeah, well, why don't you come out to Houston? Let's go eat some crawfish together and have a beer and let's see what this is all about. And I said, yeah, let's do that. You know, I know nobody in the legal industry, so I'm like, yeah, we can do that. So I come out to him and I tell him all the stuff that is going on. And at this point, 6 months in, there's no real lawyers advertising for this. There's no real lawyers out there saying, hey, we can help the victims, because everybody is waiting for the settlement to happen. So I'm like, well, I have all these people. You advertise on my site, I'll put up a form for you, and they can all come to you. He ended up with 4,000 oil spill clients from that blog. So then he, of course, is a happy lawyer, and he's like, well, why don't you come to the game with me? I'm like, yeah, we go to the game with you. So there I meet another lawyer, and all of a sudden I'm hired in Houston, but I'm in Florida, and he gets another 1,000 oil spill victims. And I'm like, but why is there nobody helping these people? One thing is, okay, it's a paycheck, but I'm not looking for a paycheck. I'm looking to help people. Once you figure out, and that's what I figured out with this whole experience, don't follow the money. Follow who needs help. Concentrate on who needs you guys to help them. And then the money just comes. It just rolls in. And the more people you can help, the more money comes your way. That was the one big takeaway from this. So then I worked for a year and a half with a Houston law firm, and I'm like, yeah, but if I'm with one law firm, I can only help so many people. If I go start up a company by myself, there's no limit to how many people I can help, how many people I can get to lawyers. So in 2013, I started up a company that just focused on helping people in need. It could be in the mass tort arena, it could be personal injury, anybody that needed help, I was going to be their voice and I was going to get them to the right person. So then you start saying, well, I can do all this on Facebook for you. And lawyers are like, Facebook, come on, that's for my family. You know, I go there and look at some pictures of the kids and, you know, what do you mean Facebook? What is Facebook? So I wrote a book telling everybody, this is Facebook. This is how Facebook works. They have a like and a share button on all websites on the whole internet. And you guys think that's so you can like and share anything? It's not. Well, you can do that too, but it's really a Trojan horse that keeps up with your whereabouts on the internet. It puts you in buckets. Oh, this person is looking for some diabetes treatment. This person is looking for cancer treatment. Well, there's buckets for all of that. So now, all of a sudden, Facebook knows everything about everybody in this room. More than your wife knows, I'm sure. They know where you go on the internet. They know everything. And they make that available to the advertiser. So all of a sudden, not only can we geo-target, think about the whole coast of Florida, the Mississippi, Louisiana, all have claims for the oil spill, right? You can geo-target. You can also geo-target out in the water. Well, what about maritime claims, right? Out there in the water, before they reach the shore, they have their cell phones. 1 minute out of every 5 on your cell phone is used on Facebook. That's how much time us Americans, I'm not American, I'm Danish, but that's how much you guys, that's how much all of us do this, right? So, I wrote a book about it. That book has everything in it that you guys need to know to understand how Facebook ticks. You can, of course, get it on Amazon. I brought some copies up here. You can get it at the concierge with Mike if you want to learn more about Facebook. So once you go big like that, and you start a company and you start telling people, hey, we just advertise to the right people that need our help, mass tort is the first thing that comes into play, right? Because mass tort is same drug, same injury. Now, if we have all this data from Facebook of what kind of injuries people have, what kind of drugs people might take as a diabetes patient, for example, all of a sudden it's all there for us so we can advertise to the people that need our help. So we did that, and then this is our growth. From 2015, when we started up this company, to this year where we're at 12.5 million in advertising on Facebook with 170 lawyers. It works extremely well. Because the other thing Facebook does is they say, well, if you already know of 1,000 people that have this condition, let me give you an audience of 2 million people that have the similar data points. So it's all data driven. Wouldn't you rather sit home in the living room and see an ad that you actually cared about, that actually was meant for you, than watching another Geico ad or some other stuff that we don't really care about? That's what is the advantage with Facebook. They make it so the ads you see actually pertain to you because the advertiser, me, can figure out what is it that makes you guys tick. What kind of help is it that you guys need? I can find attorneys on Facebook. I can advertise to attorneys because that's the clients I want. There's so much information on Facebook that we can target after. And that's what we did. This is what an ad will look like in Facebook for an IVC filter. Comes right in your newsfeed. You click on it, all of a sudden you come over to a landing page. These are specific landing pages. This is actually a 2-page thing you're seeing here. So what we did was we tested it. You know your Facebook or your websites today where it has a form in the right-hand side and you're expecting people to fill in their information without telling them anything? Do they qualify? Or do you just want the information? Well, people are not willing to do that. So what we figured out after a lot of testing was, if we pre-qualify people a little bit, you most likely know this from the insurance business, that if you know what the insurance costs, you're a lot more apt to fill out the form and have the insurance guy call you. But if you don't know what it costs up front, you know that insurance guy is going to get after you and call you night and day until he has you on the phone. So what we did was we put some skin in the game for people, right? Say, okay, answer these few questions and let's see if we can help you. So that's how we came up with the 3-step landing page where we asked them some questions, tell them if they qualified. So that means we can disqualify them on the first page. You don't qualify for this. Don't waste your time. Don't waste our time. But if you qualify, we want to tell you, and we want you to fill out this form for us. All right? So we came up with that, and this is just some sample pricings on what our stuff cost, average prices. But the next thing with attorneys is you gotta be transparent, right? I mean, you guys spend good money with me, so you gotta get an ROI, you gotta know what your numbers are, you gotta know what do you get in return. And for me, I gotta be able to innovate all the time, because if I don't innovate, there's gonna be somebody else that comes along and does that innovation. So what we do is advertising. You probably have spent a lot of money with advertisers over the year. You give them money, you see leads, and the job is done. Well, it's not really done, right? Because there's something called ROI, right? You either make your money back and a lot more, or you lose all your money. That's just how that is. So what we came up with was a feedback loop. What if we send you the lead and the system that takes in that lead, your CRM, can tell us back what happened to that lead? All of a sudden we know, is this a case or is this not a case for you? And we can figure out what is your ROI on this campaign you just ran with us? That way, you guys know that the advertising only works for me if it works for you. Because if it doesn't work for you, you don't bring me more money to advertise. It's very simple, really. So we set up the feedback loop that then tells us these are the people we are looking for. And once we know who actually signed up, well, now we know who they are and we can make lookalikes of the ones that signed up. So that's what we did. We can, of course, now create the perfect ad, based on who qualified and all that. I see I'm over time. We can do your bar submission for you and all that. So here's what worked for me. Education and information. Nobody knows what Facebook is. That's why we wrote the book. Now you guys know what it is. Disrupt an industry like your industry. I hope there's not a lot of advertising guides in this room, but man, there's a lot of bad eggs in this industry that you give money to and you get nothing back. And that's what we're trying to disrupt. Transparency, innovation, and we are partners when you guys advertise with us. We're playing the long game. We're here for the long haul. This is not give me 10,000 and we're gone, right? This is, we're now partners. We tell it like it is, we're honest, and we over-deliver. So if something doesn't work on our system, we tell you guys, don't do that. It don't work great on Facebook. Do this instead. And then you guys take the decision with enough data on your end to say, this is what I want to do. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. That's my company. That's how we did it. And thank you very much for your time, okay?